A boy asks his dad to take him back to their burnt house to retrieve a gift he had kept for his mom's birthday. The present turns out to be something special that would motivate his mom to recover from her coma. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Also keep watching because an important lesson awaits at the end of the video. Charlie was a 9-year-old boy who had to endure the news of a devastating house fire that left his mom Annie in a coma. The young boy was in school and his father was at work, leaving his mom alone at home when it happened. Although Annie did not suffer major burns from the fire, she had inhaled too much of the toxic fumes, which led to the coma. Charlie was gutted that he had lost his home in the fire, but what scared him the most was losing his mom. "I want to be with Mom all the time, Dad. I need to take care of her and make sure she wakes up," he told his dad, Chris. "I know you want to be with Mom all the time, Charlie, but you need to go to school," he replied. "I'll have the school bus drop you off here after school every day so you can be with her, all right? I'm sure she can feel your presence." Chris was devastated over the loss of their home, too. He feared losing his wife and somehow blamed himself for not being there when she needed him the most. Despite all his feelings, he hid them from Charlie because he had to remain strong for him. He knew that if Charlie saw him afraid and frantic, it would cause him to feel the same way. "It's your mom's birthday soon. Why don't we make her a card? I'm sure she'll appreciate it when she wakes up," Chris suggested, watching Charlie hold his mom's hand. Charlie nodded and suddenly remembered the gift he had kept for his mom a while back. "Can you take me back to our old house, Dad? I had kept a gift for Mom there a long time ago. I'd like to see if it's still there," he shared. Chris could feel his heart ache because he knew it was unlikely Charlie would find the gift among the wreckage. Despite this, he obliged, and the two visited their old house before returning to the apartment they were renting. Charlie did not know where to start looking. There was barely anything recognizable in the wreckage until he noticed a piece of his colorful bedroom lamp. He had kept the gift under it, so he started to dig through the debris. After a while, Chris was surprised to see Charlie holding a piece of metal in his hands. "I found it, Dad," he yelled. Chris moved closer to his son and realized he was holding a locket. Charlie handed it to him, and as soon as he opened it, he saw an untouched photo of Charlie and Annie with the inscription, "Thank you for everything, Mom. I love you." Chris had to try his best not to cry. He thought about his beautiful wife, who was now struggling in the hospital, and how their life used to be so wonderful before the unfortunate fire happened. While Chris was thinking about many things, Charlie interrupted his thoughts. "I bought this with my own allowance, Dad. It's a bit black now because of the fire, but I'm sure I can clean it up," he said. "This is a lovely gift, sweetheart. I'm sure your mom will love it," Charlie said in between tears. A couple of days later, Charlie and Chris celebrated Annie's birthday at the hospital. They put up handmade banners, stuck drawings and cards on the walls, and added a vase with fresh flowers inside her room. "Happy birthday, Mom," Charlie greeted her. "I miss you so much." In tears, Charlie gently placed the locket around his mom's neck. "I hope you wake up soon so you can see my gift," he whispered, slowly pressing the cold locket on his mom's chest so she could feel it. Days became weeks, and yet Annie still hadn't woken up. Charlie and Chris visited her daily, and they prayed together as a family for a miracle to happen. Suddenly, on one typical day, Annie's eyes started to flutter open. Chris quickly called the doctors, and they celebrated her return. After a couple more days of observation, Annie slowly returned to normal. It took her a while to move her arms again, but she gently touched the locket on her neck when she did. "You know what, son?" she began to tell Charlie. "When I was in a coma, I didn't feel anything. However, I knew your arms were around my neck at one point. You pressed my chest gently as if telling me to wake up." Charlie embraced his mom tightly as soon as she said this. He was so glad that she was finally okay, and that he no longer had to fear living the rest of his life without her. "I will always feel you, son," she told him while they shared the special moment.